Alright guys, we're back for part 2 of the first month Q&A. We dribbled on for too long to make it into one video.
Apologies.
Yep, so that was most of the Facebook questions on the actual post. This one will be mainly Instagram. Reese Morris on Instagram asked, how's the patrol been performing, any major issues? It's been performing really well, especially in the cooler weather. Yeah, no major issues. The biggest thing was like a very minor coolant leak out of a heater hose. That's about it. So far so good.
Yep. Mitchie Robertson asked, how have you been going so far with the expenses and how has it settled in with being away? The expenses, we're having a holiday at the moment, so we're not really tracking so much, but I've been quite surprised with how much we've spent on accommodation. What, $150 something?
175, I think.
$175 for the whole month, and fuel was around $1,000.
Just under $1,000 for the first month.
Yep.
But that was nearly 5,000 kilometres.
Yeah, we've just beelined down to Melbourne to get on the Spirit of Tasmania.
And even since Tasmania, we've bounced around all over the friggin' place. Like, we've done more Ks in Tasmania already than most people do in a full trip here.
We beelined to Hobart because we needed to sort out some stuff with our credit cards, and then we wanted to hang around there, but the weather turned to crap, so we've run around trying to chase the sun.
Yeah, so basically you come in near Devonport, we went straight to Hobart, sort crap out, stayed around there. When the weather turned to crap, we ended up at Derwent Bridge.
Which is where it was snowing.
Yep, if you look these up on Google, you'll understand we've pretty much covered everything. Then we went across, ended up near Ross Arden. Now we're at the Bay of Fires near St Helens. And that was all very quick. So we've covered a hell of a lot of Tasmania pretty quick. But it's kind of good because we're here for 7 weeks, so we've already got a pretty good feel for like sort of the layout,
and we can head back to places that we like to check out,
which we will be doing.
Yep.
Jai Ranger, what bar do you have? How much roughly did it cost for just the hoops you have now added alone? The bar's a full custom bar. Friend of mine, Brendan Vidler, I think his page Vids Fab
on Facebook.
He's very good at what he does. He's done all the bar work. He made the roof rack, sliders, almost everything on the car, like that water tank in behind the front seat, behind the back seats. He made that. He made the bar, so it was all custom, made to sit really high. And then the hoops added, it's hard to say because I got a lot of other stuff done, but yeah, I don't know, a few $100 to have the hoops added, I suppose. But you could find out pretty easy from your local fab shop and stuff. Like, just go ask how much to have hoops added to the style you like as well, because yeah, obviously everyone's different in what they like.
Azzy Taylor said, any unwanted attention from the boys in blue, lift, tyres, etc. I think I remember you saying it was all engineered in a video a while back. No, not yet. Thank God.
Touch wood.
Yep, we have not had any unwanted attention, any attention at all for that matter, from the boys in blue. We
have passed a fair few here and there. So far so good. The only thing I got in trouble for a while back was the tyres poking out past the flares. That was before I had the brush bars added front and rear. They actually extend out over past where the tyres sit, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we're all good now. It is engineered for tyres, lift, turbo, intercooler, seats, all that sort of stuff anyway, so we've done everything that we can to stay legal. So hopefully we're all good.
Yep. Leiden Overland. I apologise if I said that wrong. And thank you, you guys have been supporting us and like commenting on everything, and we really appreciate it. They ask, how did the Tassie boat ride go, and have you settled into a happy groove? Setup changes, refinement, question mark. Okay, so we'll just break it down. How did the Tassie boat ride? So the boat ride was, I think, better than we thought it might be. The cabins were decent, the food was decent, our dog travelled over quite well. I'm currently putting together a video all about that. We got lots of footage about how it went, and we shared a lot of info about all of everything to do with travelling over on the Spear of Tasmania. So that should be up before this video. Have you settled into a happy groove? Yeah, I think we have. Yeah.
Yep.
We're happy, sort of more going with the flow.
We've got like our setup and pack down to pretty,
yep,
you know, fine art sort of thing.
We sort of know what we like with camps. We'll roll in and roll straight out if it's not sort of what we want. We like travelling, we like, you know, days on the road, and we like days not on the road, and we know what we need to do, and we have a couple of nights getting on top of everything and sorting everything out in the patrol, all that sort of stuff. So I think we're feeling a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
And the other part of it was setup changes and refinement. Similar, yeah, we've found days where we specify that we're going to organise everything, because we have had things here and there and then move them around, and there's clothes that we don't wear and clothes that we do, and yeah, just moving it all around to get to access things that you use regularly and put to the back things you don't access as often.
Yeah, we'll probably do a more in-depth video on that later on when we get a bit more settled, but at the moment it's mainly been clothes. We've really had to reorganise and stuff. Most of the main setup, the bulk of how it is configured in the car, stayed the same and is working pretty well.
Yep.
Okay, going overland, how are you going finding free spots, clean water? Are you needing 240 volt often? How about clothes washing, getting rid of rubbish? So free spots and clean water and stuff, Wiki Camps is going pretty good for that.
Yep. In Tassie we've found a little bit more where the water, you have to push the tap to have it flow, which means you can't hook up your hose to fill your tank. So that's been a little bit more difficult than on the mainland, but other than that, that hasn't really been an issue at all.
Yeah, that's only really at like servos. At dump points and stuff, it's really easy. It's just a tap, screw on your fitting and click on your hose. Are we needing 240 volt often? No. We've only used it, I think, twice this month, and we didn't need to.
We just had a powered site.
Yeah, the batteries were full anyway. We just, you know, charged laptop, camera batteries and stuff while we had it, and then overnight just clip in our battery management system, and it just makes sure everything's all good, but we haven't needed it.
And we can use our 240 volt with our inverter for our laptop and things anyway, if we need to.
Yeah, and clothes washing, getting rid of rubbish. Rubbish has been really easy so far. We use the bin bag on our spare tyre.
Total Trimming made that up for us.
Thanks, Pete.
In Lismore.
It works really well. We just keep like a garbage bag sort of half open in there, and all our rubbish just goes in there. We just keep an eye out if we go past bins. If we don't have a full bag, we'll just sort of empty it out and put it back in. If we've got a full bag, we'll just pull the whole thing out and get rid of it and start fresh. Having that designated space for your rubbish is really good.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend not having a think about where you're going to put your rubbish, because it accumulates quite quickly, especially if you're doing more than one nighters.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have to store your rubbish inside where you are.
And the clothes washing, we've just been using the scrubber bag. We've found small loads, just a couple of things at a time. Do it early in the day, hang it up so it can dry. Is working really well for us. We've only used two laundries, just to do a quick load.
Like the hardest part is really drying.
Yeah.
If you have bad weather,
and
laundries help with that. You just chuck it in the dryer.
Yeah, and it's really when you get like the opportunity to do a laundry is when you want to do the bigger, harder stuff anyway, like bed sheets and all that. So just day to day, like, you know, shirts, underpants, that sort of thing, like it's not hard. Just a scrubber bag works really well. Just a few things in there at a time, detergent, rough it all up, cleans them really well, surprisingly well. So that's been working really well.
Yeah, I think it's paid for itself.
Yeah.
For sure, that scrubber bag. Sparky's on the loose. Shout out to you guys. We follow all of your videos and adventures, and if you haven't heard of them, go check them out. They've been on the road for about 2 years now. They ask, why did you guys go south to Tassie this time of year, and you could have had the perfect Cape York, North Queensland, Northern Territory gib conditions. So, yep, that's a very decent question. We've always wanted to see Tassie, and it was just before winter. So that was the only thing we knew we were needing to book. Everything else we could sort of wing it. And we thought while we were working, we may as well pay for the Spirit of Tasmania while we had money coming in. And we thought, you know, because it's a place we knew we wanted to get to, we'd pay for that and book it in and head down there. We hope to be traveling long enough to be able to do the same sort of time of year up there. Also Cape York, we didn't really want to do that first because we didn't want to break stuff at the start of our trip.
Yeah, we didn't want to like flood the car and do all that sort of stuff straight up.
Yeah, we just wanted to ease ourselves into it, so we thought this was a good way to do so.
Alright, Mazda Media commented, any fighting as a couple living out of each other's pockets? No, we're pretty lucky. We get on pretty well. There's not really, like, we clash on certain things, but we don't fight.
I might just get a bit agitated or whatever, or hangry sometimes.
Yeah.
But we both completely like understand each other's point of views, and we're very similar. So if Chris is getting annoyed, I'm probably getting annoyed at the same thing. Yeah.
And yeah, it never really gets to that point where we, you know, would fight. Like like Steph said, if something's like frustrating one of us, it's normally getting to both of us anyway. So
yeah. Ranger Clothing asked, how do you rate the free camps? Clean, plenty of options. The free camps we've come across, the actual free, I don't think have been too bad. Currently we're in the Bay of Fires. It's completely free state park, beautiful. Donation camps, not so much.
Yeah, we've also heard a few stories on the road. Apparently, and this is all word of mouth, so don't know how true it is, but apparently like the grey nomads don't like donating at the donation camps. So yeah, I think some of them get a little bit used and abused, especially because if people know there's hot showers and stuff there and it's a donation camp, they can pretty much get away with just going in, using it and going out.
Free camps in general, yeah, I would say they're pretty good. Sometimes they don't have, say, toilets and showers, but we've found more toilets than we thought. They're fairly common, and then there's a good app called, like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically just public toilets around Australia, and that's helped us a lot. But yeah, the donation camps can be the ones that are a bit sketchy, but yeah, I found free ones, people really respect them more than donation camps and paid campsites.
Any issues so far with Pedro? Is he reliable running those big boost numbers for this trip? Yes. 36 psi the whole trip. Before the trip he'd done nearly 50,000 Ks on it, and everything's been sweet. As far as I've found with it, as long as you keep the motor cool, the boost isn't an issue. Yeah, runs well, especially in this cooler air. It is loving it. It just pulls, yeah, very, very well. And also, as we sort of increased the boost on the car, we noticed the fuel economy got better. The only thing I can compare it to is with trucks I've driven before. Normally the more powerful with heavy weight, the better the fuel economy. All I can really put it down to is it gets up to speed and maintains it easier. It's not working as hard. Even driving alongside other diesel powered cars, you can hear they're just working the engine so hard to maintain a speed, where we just, you know, boost along and
stay along through.
Yeah, everything's good. So very reliable so far, touch wood, and running like a dream.
The Wandering Oz asks, are you travelling too fast? Already in Tassie after a month, seems quick. Fair enough comment, and it looks like you guys are travelling Oz too, so go check those guys out if you're interested in travelling Australia content. Basically, as we've stated before, we needed to get to Tassie, we'd booked the boat, and that's why we headed down so quickly. Saying that, from northern New South Wales to Melbourne, we had 3 weeks, and we did take that 3 weeks to get down there. If we did,
between where we live and Sydney, we weren't really interested in. We've done that area enough.
Yeah, we have a family that lives down that way, and we've gone down that way lots. So too fast, I can see where it looks like that, but for us, no, I don't think so. And
our trip's gonna sort of hit the brakes pretty quick. You'll see it slow right down pretty soon, I think.
Yep.
Jimmy Off-Road, how are you finding your setup on the longer trips? Is there anything you'd change so far? If anything, it's the other way. I'm really glad we've changed certain things with the Bundatech tent, the electric setup, just having it so quick and easy to put up, put down.
And we added that awning. That was a good addition.
So the way it works, if the weather turns to crap, we can just pack up, move along. If it's good, it's comfortable to stay. So far, everything's been going pretty good, and yeah, I don't think there's anything we'd really change.
No, not so far. Great Southern Overland. Tassie in winter is amazing. Is it what you expected? And will you do some of the tough tracks? It's not yet winter, but saying that, the last couple of days,
it's only March, but it's been snow.
Yeah, that big low has brought cold temperatures, snow and high winds, so it feels like it is winter. Coping with that, as we said in the last few videos, quite difficult, just with basically the wind, the full-on wind. But the cold and stuff, it's not too bad. We have enough stuff, and we can add to our setup, or layering and stuff as we need to get warm. And the tough tracks, we've stated previously as well, we're not seeking out tough track. As we've said, the car is completely capable of that. That's how we originally built it up, but now it's a tourer and it's our home. We live in it, all of our stuff is in it, and we don't just want to seek out tracks for the sake of tracks, but we will do tracks if it leads to a nice campsite. Things like that. We're not scared of forward driving, and we do really enjoy it as well, but we're not just going to go do tracks for the sake of it.
The Hard Way N60, and he's got a YouTube channel you should check out. He's a legend. Offered us help around Canberra.
Thank you.
How are you guys going? I know emotions were running high a while back. How are you feeling now? Yeah, we touched on this. I think the way we did that video, a lot of people thought, you know, we were, I don't know, like trying to be freaked out
or being
about
dramatic or something.
Yeah, all we were trying to do is share the side of things that people don't normally share.
And just real, pure, normal, regular emotion from everyday people that work all the time plucked into, oh, you don't have to do anything anymore.
Yeah,
That's
so
it.
Yeah, we're obviously doing a lot better. It was just that first day, like a lot of things going on, and the shock of what you've done, and you know, like leaving family and friends behind, leaving your full-time job, the security behind. We're fine. We love it. We love traveling. We're not in any way seeking pity or any of that crap.
You're being dramatic. We just want to share like just our own thoughts and feelings about it.
Yeah, something different to what you see for all the usual like shots of a beach, waves rolling in, traveling's amazing. Like, anyway, we're fine. No dramas at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much. The hard way.
Thanks for checking in. Yeah. And the unordinary travellers have asked how much of the last month has been what you expected, and are you surprised by anything, car issues, how much driving you do between locations, food, etc. So how much of the last month has been what you expected? I think it probably has been what we expected, and that's probably why we've just taken it all in our stride and haven't really been too phased about everything. The hardest part for us was just the first day of like, oh my god, we don't have jobs and this is it. Traveling, we expected things to go wrong. We expected not to be sure of places that we camped, fuel to be expensive, stuff to break on the car.
We're in a 27-year-old car.
Yep.
Like, things are gonna break.
So we weren't going to be stressed about that. We knew and expected that the whole time. In addition, I don't think we're too surprised about anything in regards to the car issues or travelling between locations or anything like that. We've travelled between locations for certain reasons, i.e. being we needed to be there to see somebody, do something, or have something fixed, so we've had to be at certain places, so that's our own decision.
And as we've touched on, me being a truck driver, like I was used to driving a lot of kilometers in a week, so some people driving 350 k's in a day seems like a lot, but it's, you know, when you put it into perspective, it wasn't a lot for what I'm used to.
Yeah, you don't have to obviously do it that way. We did it that way because we wanted to do certain things and needed to do certain things. So we haven't been surprised because we've put those timelines on ourselves.
Yeah. Jack Baker, shout out Jack.
Hi Jack.
Legend. How's the patrol holding up? Very good. You know it's good.
He's doing well.
Yeah, you love your patrols, don't you, Jack? Yeah, it's good.
Ryan Pollard asked, how are you finding the rooftop tent, and does it have the comfort like a bed at home? Also, have a good trip around Oz. Thank you. Obviously, there's no way that a rooftop tent, well, in my opinion, can compare to a bed that you have at home in your bedroom, especially ours. Ours was a king-size bed, super plush, like a cloud, absolutely super comfortable, and we've left that at Chris's parents' house, and I know that they're really enjoying the comfort of that bed. But we have upgraded the mattress in the rooftop tent. Chris did a bit of research just before we left, and I'm really glad he did because we had time to order a mattress. We'll show you more about that, but it is much more comfortable. and you can make the comfort level softer and harder as you need. And I think that's been a very big thing. We had less sleep on the Spirit of Tasmania than we have had
in our
normal
tent.
normal nights in the tent, and it's actually been pretty comfortable other than like the extreme wind. And
so the next one's from 98 Coda, which is Dakota Hart. His old man knows what a good truck is. 900 legend.
Yes.
How are you finding the car getting work done, service, bearings, all that stuff? Finding local attractions, how do you go about it? Getting work done has worked out pretty damn well so far.
Been very lucky.
Social media is awesome.
Cheers to everybody out there that follows us, because in little ways,
even if you just see us, offer us help, suggestions, if we
recommend
ask,
somebody, someplace,
it's
anything.
all good.
So helpful.
So we needed the heater line, the heater hose fixed. We got a heap of help on Instagram from that, and we were able to get it fixed in Lakes Entrance by
as
Phil.
we needed to on the day, in the morning.
Yeah, super helpful. So that's been pretty good. As far as like managing it myself, I check over basic stuff every day, like do a walk around, make sure nothing's, you know, hanging off, undone, whatever, leaking, check the oil, coolant, all the basic stuff, just because from driving trucks before, I was used to doing your daily checks. There's every few days, like every probably 4 or 5, I'll do a more in-depth check and make sure, you know, everything's alright. But apart from that, everything's worked out pretty well. Finding local attractions, how do you go about it? All I do is like look over the passenger seat. It's pretty easy with the apps and stuff now, I think.
Wiki Camps, I can't rate it highly enough.
Yeah, so
helps, especially places that are dog friendly.
Yeah, Wiki Camps is awesome, but use what you get. So when we're on the Spirit, we took so many
pamphlets.
Yeah, just take them off the wall. Information centers when you go through a small place, like even like for example Inverell, we're at Inverell, we went into the information center there. They can tell you like what way to go to get to the next spot,
if
which
there's like bushfires or whatever, like there's lots of info.
Stuff to see. Like just use it all up.
People talking to other people. We haven't really caught up with the many. We are more introverted than it seems as having a YouTube channel, but we camp away from others. We don't like park ourselves in the middle of people. But
if you want to come have a drink,
come over.
Come have a drink. But
we have had other people come over, as recently in Tasmania at a golf course that we were staying at Dundalli. What is it called?
Dunalley.
We had a awesome lady come over, and she just asked us to come in like to a camp, and we just had drinks and stuff, and Scout was playing with their dog, and it was awesome, and she was telling us about certain spots to go and how to see Tasmanian devils on Tasmania and things like that. Sorry guys, we talked too much, the battery ran out. But yes, talking to people, definitely worth it no matter where you are.
And like social media again is really good. We're always keen to get tips from locals that know the area, because they're the best ones to talk to anyway. GQ Troll asks, how dark is the window tint and how many kilometers you're getting per 100? The window tint is like the darkest you can legally get, is that right? I think from memory the front 2 windows are 35%, or whatever the legal limit is in New South Wales. The rear windows beyond that are 20. How many kilometers per 100? I don't know exactly, but our whole month we averaged 14.4 litres per 100. The best we've seen so far is around about 11 litres per 100 in the cooler weather.
Brock, how have you mounted the max tracks in front of the roof rack?
It's basically, our roof rack was a custom made tube bar sort of deal. That tube bar goes out past the bungee tech, so from that it's basically clamped on, mounted, and we just use the standard like Max Trax locking mounts that you can buy to mount it on there. We just twist them to lock them on, and then can throw a padlock through to secure them on a bit, but nothing fancy. We'll just put a clip to show exactly sort of what we're talking about, but yeah, nothing fancy. It's just that the roof rack bar comes out past the tent that we could, the light bar's mounted below, and then they're clamped on sort of out in front. I think that's all the questions. I'm sorry if we missed yours. Just send it through and we'll make sure we answer it over Instagram or Facebook. We don't have the best service here, so it was a bit tricky trying to get all the questions up, but I think we covered just about all of them. We'll do another Q&A video sort of later on in the trip when we're, I guess, more established and worked out exactly where the faults and all that are in the setup.
Yeah.
But in between, like, if you have any questions, just send them through on Instagram or Facebook. We're happy to answer anything you've got.
We'll answer them when we've got service and time and all that sort of stuff. It's a little bit different now that we're traveling all the time, but
yeah,
we did want to just thank all of you for all of your questions, and all of your support and all of your tips and recommending people and places. It's just awesome to have such like-minded people following along and getting really involved in what we're doing in our travels around Australia.
Yep, and if you see that we're coming through an area where you're, you know, a local or you've been there before, feel free to send us any tips or anything like that, places to see. If you see us, just give us a wave. We're more than happy to catch up with people, and love meeting people out on the road. We're really amazed with how many people have spotted us so far, even without the Overland Obsessed written on the tent and stuff like that. Like, just people know the car and that sort of thing, so definitely don't be shy, come say good day. And
sorry guys, we talked that much that our memory card got full. Filled
and
the
the
whole
battery's
thing.
dead.
And the battery's dead, so I'm just filming this on our phone. Sorry about the audio, hopefully you can hear us okay. Life with living on the road, charging things as you need and not storing all the footage as you get it. But we just wanted to sort of sign off and do a bit of a outro saying thank you for all of your support, thanks for all of your questions, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.